Okay, you've seen the film. It's taken almost 20 years to develop this revolutionary municipal waste management system, and it's ready to be brought to your doorstep right now. Whether or not it arrives, much depends upon what key people in your local authority decide. What they decide may well depend upon what you tell them about JTP. Here in Britain, over the last decade or so, the cost of household waste management has been artificially elevated to extraordinary levels. In many areas, the costs that you now have to pay has been forced upwards towards and even above £200 a tonne. This is 5 times what it was only just a decade or so ago, and it's about to get worse. The carbon footprint is also 5 times the size it needs to be. This is clearly a situation we can no longer ignore. All of this has been largely due to ill-conceived laws that encourage segregation at source, a system that's inefficient and which we can no longer afford. The situation has to change if council tax is to be kept in check. With the average household producing around 1.25 tonnes of domestic waste per year, the cost of waste management can now represent as much as a quarter of the council tax that many British households have to pay. JTP could make a huge difference to those taxes. Not only is there a near 60% reduction in collection costs, landfill taxes are massively reduced, almost eliminated. Meanwhile, JTP's 98% recycling capability means that the waste you contribute becomes an asset, not a liability. We believe that value should be returned to you, the taxpayers who provided the waste in the first place. Currently, ownership of the raw waste is often passed to the waste contractors for nominal sums hidden deep within their contracts. The JTP solution makes such arrangements as redundant as they are undesirable. In a world where public finances are suffering so much stress, every penny counts. Every pound that can be removed from the cost of providing the government services we need must be eliminated. What we are aiming for is a low-tax, zero-waste society. But for that to happen, your local council needs to be aware of the opportunity it now has to eliminate the myriad of expensive wheelie bins, recycling bins and waste food slot buckets now cluttering doorsteps and curbsides near you. Your council also needs to be made aware of just how much taxpayers object to paying over the odds for an inefficient, ill-conceived service that pollutes the atmosphere with excessive carbon discharges whilst pretending to protect the environment. A solution that solves all the issues can now be provided if your council can be persuaded to build its own JTP facilities. Call your council today and ask them to tell you, under the Freedom of Information Act, how much they are paying per tonne to collect and dispose of your household waste. Now ask your council to justify continuing that expense now that JTP is here. Ask your council how committed it really is to Britain's Kyoto target of reducing CO2 emissions by 30% by 2020. Ask your council to justify the enormous carbon footprint created by 40 heavy waste lorries when 10 electric tugs can bring back simple, all-in weekly collections. Please help us help you towards lower taxes and a better quality of life with JTP. Pick up the phone or write to your council and your MP today. Thank you for your time. I rest your case for lower taxes. Goodbye.